All right, gang, before we dive in, just a couple notes on what you're going to be doing. You're working on 3 drills, one for hip extension, one for hip flexion, and then one for hip rotation. So the first 2, we use those movements, hip extension and flexion, on the bike constantly. The reason we're working on hip rotation is we want to be able to disassociate our hip joint from the pelvis. A problem a lot of people run into is they can't disassociate hip from pelvis, and over time they're doing hip flexion or hip extension and the pelvis has to move a little bit with it. The pelvis moves, eventually the low back moves, and you can get into some trouble. So this can help with injury prevention, but it can also make your hips more efficient. If that ball is super smooth and fluid in the hip socket, it's just going to make for a more efficient ride. You're going to be able to engage and use muscles at a higher rate. So we're working hip extension, hip flexion, and hip rotation. This program is going to take you less than 10 minutes, and you can do it every single day. And I'd encourage you, if your hips are tight, to do this every single day. It would be great to do before a ride, but honestly, anytime during the day you have time is going to be great. All right, gang, so drill 1 is going to be an active low lunge. You are going to need something to rest your knee on. Roll up a yoga mat, get a pillow off the couch, whatever it is. We're going to be set up in this lunge position. Notice my back foot, I'm on the balls of my feet here. I'm going to go over the sequence real quick and then we'll jump into the follow along. So from this position, I'm going to rock forward, keeping my torso tall until I get a really nice stretch on the hip flexor. And we're just going to passively hold that for 30 seconds. At the end of the 30 seconds, we'll relax out of it, take a breath, then we'll rock back into it and we're going to hold for 5 seconds. But this time we're going to actively engage this back glute really, really hard as you can for 5 seconds. We're going to relax again and we're going to do 5 reps of that. So it's a 30-second passive hold, then into 5 reps of 5-second holds. So let's get set up. We're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for our passive hold. Again, we're just rocking into this, totally relaxed and passive. We do want the torso tall, and over the course of the 30 seconds, try to sink deeper if you are able. So here we go, 30 seconds rocking into it, just hanging out, up nice and tall through the torso. Relaxed breath. It's very likely over the course of the 30 seconds, you'll be able to sink deeper into this. So just let your body take over, go deeper if you're able. Do not come out of the stretch. Staying tall through the torso. We got 5 seconds. 2, 1, cool. So we'll rock out of that, take a breath. Rock right back into it. Try to take the stretch a little further even if you can, and then really contract this glute hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 1. Relax out of it. Right back. Hold strong, glute tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax out of it. That's 2. Back into it. Tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2 to go. Rocking into it. Squeeze tight in the glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Big stretch. Hold strong, glute tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. And we'll switch sides. So square up the hips on the balls of our feet back here. 30 seconds on the clock. Rock into that stretch. Hold it there, 30 seconds. Here we go. Again, relaxed breath. Torso stays tall. Keep that hip driving forward. No activity in the muscles here though. We're just holding a passive stretch. If you're able, sink deeper over the course of the 30 seconds. Almost there. Here we go, 30 seconds, cool. So same thing, 5 reps, 5 seconds. Let's rock back into it. Big squeeze of the glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift out of it, take a breath. Right back, big stretch, big contraction on the glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We're training our hips to control hip extension by contracting this glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Rocking forward. Torso stays tall, butt tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Last one. Rocking forward. Big stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. So the next drill, we're going to be working on hip flexion, the opposite of what we were just working on. So we don't need our pad anymore. We're going to lay on the ground. And this drill is going to have a similar pattern to what we did on the last drill, the hip extension drill. We're going to be laying on our back. And we're going to pull a knee into our chest as much as we can. So we should be stretching out the glute. And we're just going to hold here passively for 30 seconds. At the end of the 30 seconds, we're going to relax a little bit. And then we're going to pull the knee back deep into the chest. You're going to slowly let go. And you're going to try to actively hold that as close to your body as you can for 5 seconds. 5 reps for 5 seconds, the same pattern we did on the last drill. We're just contracting the opposite side. We're contracting the hip flexors on this drill to actively pull that knee into the chest. So 30-second passive stretch into 5 reps of 5 seconds. All right, let's get set up. 30 seconds on the clock and we're off. Totally relaxed here. You might not be pulling your knee as deep as I am, but just have the intention of getting it as close to the chest as you can. With gravity helping here, you should feel this loosen up over the course of the 30 seconds. You should feel like you can pull that knee a little tighter to the body. Pretend your hands are really heavy. They're really putting weight on that. That's 30 seconds. So take a breath. Pull the knee back tight to the chest. Slowly let go here. Start to engage before you even totally let go. Hold strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the knee. That's 1. Pull it back deep. Slowly let go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab again. That's 2. Pull in tight. Hold strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2 to go. Slowly let go. 5, 4, 3. Pull to the chest. 2, 1. Slowly let go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Pull tight to the chest. Slowly let go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Extend that leg out. Nicely done. And so we'll pull opposite knee in. 30 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Again, just passive here. Hands are heavy. They're really pulling that knee down. Relaxed breath. If you're new to stuff like this, it's not uncommon for the hip flexor to cramp. So if you're feeling that cramping on the hip flexor on the last round, totally normal. That's just getting your body used to controlling muscles in that shortened range. So that's going to get less with time. So don't worry about that if you were cramping. All right, 30 seconds is up. Pull the knee in. Slowly let go. Hold strong as best you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 1. Back in, slowly let go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2. Tight to the chest, hold strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. Last 2. Hold strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Really pull tight on this one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Extend that leg out. Nicely done. All right, 2 drills down, 1 to go. The next one we will be standing, and we're gonna work some rotation with hip cars. And this is a rotational drill, but it's also incorporating hip flexion, we just did, and hip extension, we did on the first drill. So this is a fantastic drill for just getting your hip to rotate better in the socket. If it rotates better, hip extension, hip flexion's gonna be easier. So this drill, I've done this drill a bunch, so my version of it is probably gonna look better than your version of it. And don't get discouraged if you're robotic or clunky with the movement. Over time, you're gonna develop better motor control, and that's gonna translate really well to having more efficient hips on the bike. So just execute this drill as best you can based on what I'm showing you. So we wanna hold on to something and ideally hang on pretty tight. So you can just have a hand on a wall, but if you can physically grab something, that's gonna be better. So I'm gonna work my left side. I'm standing up tall, abs are tight. I'm lifting this left knee up as high as I can first. So we're working that hip flexion. I'm gonna not move anywhere else in the body. I'm gonna keep that knee high, bring it out to the side as far as I can. Then I'm gonna lift the foot. That's internally rotating the hip. You'll hit an end point there. Then you'll keep the knee as high as you can there. Kick back into hip extension. Bring the knee back in line with the other knee. Then reverse that. Knee back into hip extension. And then just try to bring the knee up as high as you can out to the side and around in front. Again, if this is your first time doing it, it's gonna be clunky. You're gonna feel tight. You're probably gonna cramp in this hip. That's fine, honestly. That's a good thing, because if you stick with it, the improvements in your hip mobility you're gonna see are gonna be incredible. So let's set up, let's get 5 reps in. As you're doing this, pay a lot of attention to your pelvis bones and make sure they're pointed straight ahead the entire time. If you feel like they start to turn out, you've rotated off your planted hip. So make sure they're pointed straight ahead. If you keep that in mind, you're probably gonna execute this really well, and you're really gonna help disassociate hip from pelvis. So hip bones straight ahead the entire time. Here we go, knee up, we're doing 5 reps. Slowly out to the side, foot comes up, kick back, keep knee high, knee in line, kick back. So I can keep this hand on my pelvis bone here, so I know if it moves, I've made a mistake. This should feel, that's 2, like you're carving out space in the hip. That should be the sensation. Like you're forcing that ball to really rub against what the capacity of the hip is, and it's making change. That's 3. Should be tough. 4, 1 more. 5. So we'll switch sides. I'll talk through it on this side again. So knee up as high as we can. Keep that knee as high as we can. Bring it out to the side without pivoting. Hit an end point, lift the foot. Kick back, reverse it, kick back, knee comes high, not rotating anywhere else in the body. There's 1, knee high, carve out that space. 2, the hardest part is the internal rotation here. And if you're new to this drill, you're not gonna have much of it, but just be mindful of hitting that end point. 3, and then hitting that end point here, and then just extending back after that. Don't try to cheat your way to more range. 4. One more, really intentional with this one. 5. All right, that's it. You know, pretty quick routine once you get it dialed in. Can be done every single day, as I said. And it's really gonna make the change you need to disassociate hip from pelvis and give you that good hip flexion and good hip extension so you got a nice smooth ride.